Okay, I'd like to call the Development Review Board to session. Today is Tuesday, April 15th.
Great, okay. We have, first thing on our agenda is our minutes from our last meeting. I know that George had sent on some corrections or some additions on to Linda, so those have already been noted. But if anybody has any other changes or if they'd like to make a motion to approve, it'd be appropriate this time.
I won't. I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Okay. Also, the other next thing on our agenda is the reading of the witness oath, and we ask everybody that presents information this evening to sign the sign-up sheet on the podium over there, and it contains the following oath statement. I solemnly swear or affirm under the pains and penalty of perjury that the statements I make, testimony I give, and other evidence I submit to the board at the board's public hearing held on this date shall be true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. So again, we'll just ask that folks sign in when they speak to the board this evening. Next item on the agenda is disclosure of any ex parte communications or conflicts of interest regarding the hearing this evening. Seeing none? Okay, great. So we do have one hearing this evening. It's TAC LLC, 141 Dewey Street. The applicant is seeking approval for the demolition of a dwelling and a garage at 141 Dewey Street. As I mentioned in the materials for the board, there is a State of Vermont has produced a Vermont Historic Sites and Structures Survey for many towns, including Bennington, and our regulations require that any structure that is in that survey that's to be demolished has to get approval from this board. It also requires review by the Historic Preservation Commission. The Historic Preservation Commission has reviewed the application, and they have concluded, quote, demolition is acceptable in this circumstance. So they did clear that hurdle fairly easily. And I'll have Ted introduce himself and present what he's hoping to accomplish.
Thanks everybody for coming out on this sparsely one agenda item meeting. So you have the information in front of you. 141 Dewey is, as you're facing the property, just to the right of my wife and I. This is my wife, Alicia Holden. We live at 145 Dewey Street, and it is a shared driveway, 145 and 141 Dewey. The garage is at the very end. We bought the property about 5 years ago, 4 or 5, and the intention was to make it into a house and improve the neighborhood. It needed significant amount of work. And we went about that with a local architect, Jeff Metcalf, and through 2 iterations. One is a single family home, and that was the first one, and then more recently, just about 4 or 5 months ago, as a 2-family unit or 2 apartments. Both were just extremely expensive, beyond what I think the neighborhood would support as far as a resale value ever, and frankly what we could afford, where it would make sense. We didn't want to tear it down, but our thought was to tear it down. There's still a big expense to tearing it down. Make it a lawn, and then over time, maybe we'll be back in front of the board and have new plans for something in the future. But we have no plans for anything at the moment other than tearing it down and making it a lawn.
Ted, could you just introduce yourself for the record for the minutes?
For the record, my name is Theodore Katsumpis, sole member of TAC LLC.
Thank you.
Is there any questions from the board?
Yes, no.
Any
no.
motions?
Yeah. Read the engineering report, it has the blessing of the HPC. Unusual, but anyway, they got no complaints. So I see no reason to not approve this as presented.
Okay, I second that. All those in favor?
All right, you guys are all set. Thanks a lot, I appreciate you guys.
Long one, wasn't it?
I told Alicia it should be really quick. Perhaps even quicker than I thought.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
I do, thank you. I don't have any other business except to say that we don't have a meeting, our first meeting in May. So I'll see you at the earliest, the third Tuesday in May, and
Coming up then,
probably quite a bit warmer by then.
what's coming up then?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
but-
nothing, you know,
But nothing that I know of, but it's too far in advance for me to say for sure we won't have a meeting. So,
Make a motion to adjourn?
Oh, good idea.
all right.
Robert Gould here. Thank you,
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
That was about as easy as I thought it was.